All right. So we're back again. Everybody loved our 10 questions with Armand. So we're doing 10 more questions with Armand.
No, no.
I came up with that title, by the way.
7 questions and 3 pet peeves with Armand.
Yeah. 10 more questions with Armand, like I said.
No.
10 more. First off, I want to thank everybody for hitting the subscribe button. I want to thank everybody for watching these videos. I also want to thank everybody for watching at least 33 seconds of each ad, because that's how we're making money. That's how she's making money. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, actually, I go to work to make money, but I get it.
she lives off of this TikTok money. So
this is YouTube.
What did I say? I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm not cutting any of that.
He always gets so nervous around me.
I do. All right. So we're going to do 10 more questions.
10 more questions.
So hit it. Number 1.
Okay. We're going to start out with I think an easy one.
A softball, as they say.
What is your favorite cereal? And here's Maisie. You want to be left out, May? Come on.
You got to be up here. My favorite cereal.
I know.
Well, that's a good one. So my favorite cereal of all time is Count Chocula.
Actually, it's Kashi. You talk about it all the time.
Kashi's like the worst cereal ever. If the question was, what's the worst cereal ever? I'm like, oh, the ones with little rocks and little twigs in it that my mother would buy for us when it was on sale because we were poor. It was Kashi. You'd pour the milk in Kashi, and all we would do is we just pour like a gallon of milk in there, and be like, me and my brother would be amazed at how quickly all the rocks and the twigs sucked all the milk and it just disappeared. It was crazy. It was like a black hole of cereal.
And so every year around Halloween in October, sometimes starting in September when it goes on sale, I get you Count Chocula. But remember the one year at the Sam's they had the Monster cereal pack.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Count Chocula, and then
Frankenberry,
and Boo Berry. And then they had one that was the Mummy. A Mummy cereal or something, which I had never heard of before.
No.
But I think it was like some kind of fruit. It just said fruit was the flavor, which I don't really think that narrowed it down. But Count Chocula is the one.
Yeah.
Which is the funny thing is you love Count Chocula, and I have never even had Count Chocula.
Which is crazy. So when I was a kid, actually when I was like in my 20s, I would buy Count Chocula because I had a job. And that when you could buy it all year round. And then all of a sudden, you could only buy it around the holidays. I remember one year, this is going back probably close to 15 years or more. I knew this girl I wasn't dating her. I knew this girl that she did coupons. She was like one of those crazy coupon ladies.
Extreme coupon.
I mean, like crazy, like she would buy like $400 worth of items and then it would be like $6, after she was done with all of her things. And she was like, I had talked about it or it had come up and I said, oh, Count Chocula, I love that. And it was like November. And she was like, hey, I can get you Count Chocula for really cheap from like Walmart or something. It's on sale. I have some manufactured coupons on and on. And I'm like, yeah, get me whatever you can get me. And she bought me like 25 boxes, like literally like 25 boxes. No, 24 boxes. It was like 12. The case was like 12 to a box, 2 cases of it. And I think it was like, no lie, it was like $18 or something ridiculous. And
she almost burnt you out on your favorite cereal.
Yeah. And I ate a lot of it. And my son ate a lot of it. And I gave some to my dad. And he's like, this is awful. And then he ate like 6 boxes of it. And it kind of burnt me out on it for 2-3 years there.
Now, since I don't eat like Count Chocula or sugary cereals, I may stop looking at my arm. What's the difference in that and then some other chocolatey cereal?
It's delicious.
I get that, but I'm just saying, like, are there any other like chocolatey cereals, or is Count Chocula just the only one?
Well, no.
I mean, I know you eat like Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles also it's a different cereal, but it's also delicious. Yeah, it just tastes different.
I don't know. I don't eat all that crap.
Well, maybe this year in October when you buy me a couple of boxes, then you can have them.
I don't think I'll like it. Ever since the Cookie Crisp debacle, I don't.
It's not Cookie. It's much better than Cookie Crisp.
I'm saying, ever since I was so disappointed as a kid by Cookie Crisp, I'm like, I'm out of sugary cereals. I don't eat them. Yeah. I mean, I eat cereal a lot.
You do.
Like, I eat a lot of cereal.
You probably 2 or 3 nights a week. You are coming home late and you are eating cereal. Like that's your go-to.
Yeah, but my cereal is I eat Special K fruit and yogurt, Special K red berry, Raisin Bran Crunch is my favorite cereal, and my all-time favorite cereal, the only what I'll consider sugar cereal that I eat is peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Right.
Now, I will go to town on some peanut butter Captain Crunch, but other than that, I don't eat sugary cereal. I don't care for it.
This also isn't 10 more questions with Shelly either. So nobody cares.
Other than the fact that I'm way more interesting than you.
That's true. Yeah, we're gonna have to do one with you at some point.
All right.
Number two.
Do you believe the old adage of don't judge a book by its cover when it comes to writing, or do you fully believe that people pick up a book or judge a book solely on its cover?
90% of the people are going to buy a book, initially pick that book up and look at it based on the cover. And I do it. 100% I do it. I don't want, like a lot of writers, new writers, and they're like, oh, they got to like reinvent the wheel. They got to come up with some cover that, oh, this is, you're not going to know what it is and blah, blah. Don't do that. Literally, when I do covers, when I send, I have a new series and I need covers for it if I'm self-publishing, I will literally send my cover artist like 6 or 7 books in the genre, those covers. Here, this is what, hey, I'm doing tropical thing. Here's what Wayne Stinnett's covers are. Here's Nicholas Harvey covers. Here's Douglas Pratt covers. Here's the, these are the ones that I need you to look at their covers and then give me covers, because a reader wants to know immediately. A reader wants to pick up that cover, know immediately what they're getting. They don't want to look at a cover. There's an author that we know that did this cover where it's like weird and it's like it's a picture and it's like there was fog and it's just a silhouette, and then you look at the cover and you're like, well, that's a neat cover, but that doesn't tell me anything about the book. It doesn't tell me what genre you're writing in. I don't know what's going on. Is it a ghost story? I don't know what's going on here. So for me, you just show it. Like, romance covers, they're romance covers, right? Romance readers don't want to waste time going through looking at all these different covers and trying to figure out what's what. Now I see a lot of covers that I look and I go, oh, they have like, a Bloody Death is the name of the book, and it's like reds and blacks and it's like bones and stuff, and I'm like, how is that a romance cover? So I think
that's a judging the book by its cover,
right? I would never, if I was a romance reader, which I'm not, I wouldn't pick that book up. If I was a horror reader,
you love some romance.
If I was a horror reader, I would pick that book up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, I think definitely we judge books by its cover, and I have no problem with that, because I want to know quickly with 1 billion books out there. I want to see the ones that I think I'm gonna like.
All right. Why don't you like horror movies, considering you have written so many horror books?
That's an excellent question.
I'm full of excellent questions.
When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, me and Frank Valenti, probably every other Friday night, we would go to this mom and pop video store back before Blockbuster came in. It was one of those where his parents had paid like $100 lifetime membership to this thing or something, and then you still had to pay for the videos every month. And we would go in and we would get like 4 or 5 horror movies, and his parents didn't care. They were like, yeah, we were downstairs. So every Friday night, he would make pizza rolls in the toaster oven or the microwave, and he would make them, right. Little
Not
side
the microwave. Ooh.
He would put them in the microwave, right? And if it said like cook in the oven for 15 minutes, he would put them in the microwave for 15 minutes, and they were just disgusting. Or sometimes we would get to order a pizza, and we would watch like the Faces of Death movies, blood-sucking freaks. We would watch, Halloween. We would watch Friday the 13th. We would watch all of them. And I would watch them and I would have fun. But then it got to the point as I got older in the 90s, where we were all the slasher films, we were trying to, freak everybody out. It wasn't, there wasn't jump scares anymore. It was just, let's have the best 20 kills in this movie kind of thing. and it got boring for me. It's like I had seen it all. I had watched literally hundreds of horror movies, and and then it got to the point where he's like, these are these whatever Italian things and these things, and then the guy in the video store was getting importing all these crazy horror movies because there was a bunch of us that would watch them, and he would always like we'd walk in and go, I got 4 of them for you, and he would give us like, and I'd be like, this is crazy. Some of this stuff is just, it went beyond Nightmare on Elm Street, fun horror movie kind of thing, and it just got to be gross and bloody, and I just really lost.
So too much of it.
That was all I was watching for a while.
And again, not that it's about me, but I don't watch horror movies at all. Never have, even as a teenager.
So when we
never liked it. Still don't. When
we first started dating, she was like, "I'm going to tell you, I don't watch horror movies," and I was like, "You know what? I would rather watch a Jennifer Aniston romantic comedy than watch that." So we were good there. Like she was worried, oh, we're going to watch all these crazy horror movies.
I was worried that you would want to, not that we would,
because
I was like, no, thank you.
True.
I don't like that kind of stuff. But even in any kind of a movie, if there's any kind of a jump scare, I don't like it. I don't do well with it. You scare me just walking around the house because I get in my head doing stuff, and then you walk into the room and say my name or something, and I jump, and I'm, like, oh, what the hell are you doing?
In all fairness, though, I move like a panther.
Like a panther, so stealthy.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We'll ask you. This is humorous to me only because you'll get it as soon as I ask this question based on your last week or two. Do you now understand why I hate fennel and never ever order anything with Italian sausage?
Oh my God! So my wife does not like fennel. So
hate it.
If anything, we go to an Italian restaurant, she always asks, what is the meat sauce? Okay, what's in it?
Do you use
Italian sausage? And she'll send people back to ask, right? And if they do, then she'll just want the marinara sauce, or she'll order the white sauce, whatever else.
And you never say anything, but I always know that you're kind of like, just eat the sausage. Don't make a big
deal. It's like it's just sausage.
And I'm like, I don't like fennel.
It tastes like fennel. It tastes like licorice. It's fine.
And you're always like, what's the big deal?
Well, the big deal happened to me about a week ago.
Yeah.
We so she was gonna make baked ziti. That's my favorite meal. Okay. I've been a good boy last couple of weeks. I've done
I don't know about all that.
I've done the dishes. I vacuumed without you even asking. I've been really good. And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna make baked ziti. So because she's so busy and because we like it now since COVID, we just order from Walmart or Publix or whatever, and then they deliver the food. And Walmart, we get our meds and her mother's meds and her aunt's meds. So it's just convenient. Everything gets delivered. And when she ordered just sausage.
Ground pork.
What I
ordered. Ground pork.
And the person bought Italian sausage.
But it was ground pork, but it was Italian style.
Right. So we knew, okay, there's gonna be fennel. So she was like, well, I'm not gonna eat it, because she was making meatballs, like giant meatballs. And she's like, well, I'll make meatballs, and then you can have the meatballs, but I'll still have the baked ziti and won't put any of it in there. And then the next day, I'm like, I think that was that Friday night?
I think so.
And then Saturday, you just make like a meatball sub or something. So I'm like, I'm getting 2 great meals out of this. Fine.
Because normally, let's be clear, I make very good meatballs.
Yeah.
I don't use Italian sausage because I hate fennel.
Right. So she makes them. I eat like 3 meatballs. And they were all right. They weren't like her best meatballs. And I'm like, yeah. And I taste the fennel.
Not because I made them poorly, but because
the Italian sauce, which is different than what she normally does. And I taste the fennel. I'm like, licorice. So we're old. So we take, what do we take?
Acid reducer pills.
We take acid reducer
like
pills.
Like Nexium. For people who know, they know.
Right. Because maybe once every couple of weeks, she has acid reflux and she's up half the night throwing up. And I'm like, as long as you're not waking me up, I'm fine with it. You got this.
You don't wake up for anything.
I don't wake up for anything. Fine. And every now and then I'll get like a little bit, like, I throw up in my mouth a little bit and I'm fine. But that night I took it at like, say, 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh, we need to take our pills. I take a pill and I go to bed. And then it's like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm lying on my stomach. I don't want to get too graphic here, but let's just say
He returned all the fennel.
I returned the fennel like 6 times. I mean, like running to the bathroom, going and all I taste is the licorice. That's all I'm tasting is that fennel, and oh my god, it was so disgusting, and I was just wiped out the next day. So I was like, well, I guess I can't eat. I guess I also have to ask now, or take my pill right before we eat. So, but
well, the
that
thing
was
is, the
brutal.
fennel isn't what made you sick with your acid reflux. It was all the tomato sauce because it's the acid. But unfortunately, the fennel
That's what I'm
is what you
tasting.
tasted.
Yeah, that's what I'm tasting.
I'm just saying, but now you understand why when I say I can't eat fennel, now you understand why the repercussions of fennel is so disgusting. So now you can
So
say
I
that
will,
I'm right again.
I will say, I what I could have done is I could have started yelling for her because she was in the other room because we have the other dog here. So she sleeps in the other room so the dog doesn't kill any of my cats.
Which you wouldn't do anything.
And so I'm yelling for her. Then I call her in the other room. She doesn't answer. I text her. She doesn't answer.
Well, at this point in time, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And
So,
I'm asleep. I'm not paying attention to any
out.
of that.
And I am dying. I am like, okay, so now I'm laying there. I'm like, okay, I'll lay on my back. But then I'm like, oh, if I throw up, then I'm going to die like Bon Scott or John Bonham. You know, I'm going to die of my own vomit. So I'm like, or Spinal Tap, choke on someone else's vomit.
Which I love is your thing is why isn't she coming to fix this? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well, what was funny is that day you had ordered, because of this, you had ordered cough drops. So I'm like, I don't know where the cough drops. So I get up and I go into the kitchen and I'm like feeling like I'm going to throw up again. And I'm looking, I can't find the cough drops. I go back to bed and lay back down. And then I settle down a little bit. Then I get back up and I finally find them. And then I was just popping. Once I started popping cough drops, then I felt bad.
Did you not think it would be odd if the cough drops were not in the exact same place they've been for 10 years?
I don't know. I don't use cough drops.
Yes, you do.
You do. I don't know cough drops.
They're in the exact same place they've always been. Anyway, I just think not that it's funny you got sick, but it was humorous because now
Here's the good part, though.
Now you understand why I don't like
I
fennel.
probably lost like 8 pounds because of that in the last week. So, you know, bring on the fennel.
Yeah, no. Okay. Of all of your books, if you had to pick one to be turned into a movie, what would be the one book that you would really love to see made into a movie? Not for like money purposes, but just like the story, how it would come across. Like what would be your one pick for a book to movie?
It would have to be Dirty Deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that whole series, I can see it's a 12-book crime thriller series, and I could see that being 12 seasons. I mean, not on Netflix. They would never go 12 seasons. They go like 2 seasons and cancel it. But I could see that series cinematically in my head. And I think that would be a really good character. So in my mind, when I first started writing it, sometimes I'll have actors or actresses in my mind. And who did I have? Do you remember?
Kevin James?
No, that was what somebody had brought up.
That's who I said it should
That's
be.
what you said it should be.
I can't remember who you said it was because I said, no, that's not right. But I can't remember who it was.
Now I forgot his name.
Uh-oh.
From the Evil Dead.
Bruce
Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Can't believe I forgot Bruce. I was like, you know what?
No, that's not it.
This is Bruce Campbell. This is Bruce Campbell.
No, it was not. That's not right.
So yeah, so I think I would definitely be the series that should be made into a series, or just do a movie of the first one starring Tom Cruise.
No, not funny.
It's funny if actually Tom Cruise bought that and made the movie, she'd be like, I'm not going to the set.
No, I'm not watching.
I don't want to. I'm not even going to watch it when it comes on TV. I'm not going to watch it.
No, not if he's going to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
All right, I've got 2 more questions.
Go.
One more book question we'll do last, and then.
All right.
But this is a question for you. Ready?
Hopefully for me.
Name your worst and best traits that you get from your mother.
Wow. So I got the love of reading from my mother. That's got to be a good one. Okay. My mother still to this day.
I don't know if that's a trait. That's just something you love, but okay.
The love of reading. Yeah, that's a trait. The knowledge to understand words and sentences. She reads like 3-4 books a week still. And when we were growing up, my mother always had a book. Calm down.
What?
My mother had like a book on her coffee table, on the end table. She had one in the kitchen. There was a book everywhere, like 4 or 5 books, and she would be reading all of them. And I think I got that from her. I think the one thing that I got from her because of her is me being so overthinking and wimpy when it comes to a lot of stuff.
That's your worst trait.
That's my worst. That's definitely the worst trait.
That's
my mother
a
was
Rosamilia worst trait.
My mother was a homemaker, domestic goddess, as she used to say. That's what she would say. Me and my brother, and she was. I don't want to say she was smothering or cloying, but it was pretty bad. Like everybody else was allowed to go up to the school and play football. Me and my brother were not allowed to go up there. Like we were not allowed to do anything. And she worried about everything. Like everything was, oh no, I'm not buying you a skateboard. You're going to break your arm. Like that was the immediate thing. Mm-hmm. And she does it. She did it to my kids. I mean, she does it she still to this day does it to our daughter. Yeah. You know, my youngest is afraid of everything. And it's because my mother puts that fear that something is going to go wrong. And that's, I think, unfortunately, I have that a lot.
Which is, it's funny in a way because there are things I won't do just because I go, well, that's dumb. I'm going to get hurt. Like, or I don't like it.
Right. Like read poetry.
But I'm much more open to, well, yeah, I'll try that because I always go, what's the worst that could happen? I don't enjoy it, or right. I mean, I'm not going to put myself like dangerous, and I say that to say dangerous is like, I'm not going to go, like, hey, let's shoot each other with BB guns and see what happens. Like, I'm not going to do stupid stuff like that, but I'm a little more adventurous with things,
right?
Which I definitely agree that you're not, because I'm always like, let's do this. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, why? But that's something
because I automatically, my mother is in my head automatically saying you're going to get hurt doing that, or you're going to look stupid.
That's the big one.
That's the big one.
That's what I fight with Caitlin when we go places, and she was like, especially when we used to go to the conventions, and she'd want to meet someone. I said, then go up and talk to him, and she would go, no, I could never do that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
And then I would say, what's the worst that could happen? He's a jerk, and then you go, well, now I don't like them anymore anyway, or they're just like, hey, I don't have time. I said, but the worst that can happen is they're not going to just punch you in the face and walk away. I mean, right. Give it a try. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's it. I would agree with those. You definitely got love of reading for your mom. But I will say another trait you got from your mom, and I don't know if this would follow in a best or a worst category, is your sarcasm.
That's a Rosamilia thing. That's mom.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't know though if that would be considered a good trait or a bad trait. But you definitely got it.
Yeah, that's like we showed up at my mother's. I think we had first started dating, and my mother, I guess it was cold out, and I was wearing my Goopaline. I'm wearing a heavy jacket. And my mother's like, "Ah, you look like a longshore fisherman or something," And I said, "You're like a Snicker bar away from wearing a muumuu," And you were like, "I can't believe you talked to your mother again." But we've always joked around like that. There's nothing off limits. As long as it's funny, you can't say something that's just completely mean. It's got to have some humor to it.
Crazy. Okay, and hold on, I got to find my last question. Oh, what is something about either writing or publishing something in the writing world that you've recently learned that you wish you had learned a lot sooner in your career?
Doing these YouTube videos. I wish, so a lot of the stuff I do, like Twitch was one. I followed Jay Wilburn. Jay Wilburn started doing it, and then I did it. And I feel like if Jay was still with us, Jay would have a Twitch, a YouTube channel and the Twitch right now. And I think he would have shown me the ropes on this. So for me, I wish I had a YouTube channel for years. I never did anything with it. I post a video every now and then when I remembered. Back in November, so 6 months, 7 months, I was like, you know what? I want to do this. Writers are on here, and they seem to be making money, and they seem to be posting stuff. And so I wish I had done this a couple of years ago. I wish I had built this up way sooner, because I'm enjoying doing it. And it's something that a year ago, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now here's the fun part.
Pet peeves.
3 pet peeves. 3 more pet peeves. We had 3 pet peeves last episode we did. Apparently that went over well.
People
to
like
find
that.
out the silly things that absolutely set you off.
Not silly things.
The silly things.
Serious things that set me off.
Yeah, people not eating their bread bowl or their taco bowl.
Oh, don't even. Why are you bringing that up?
People in a hat.
Now I'm angry. Don't
And people who live in a tiny house, and you don't even know any of these people.
I know all.
Okay, so 3 pet peeves with Armand today.
Go. Number 1.
They're your pet peeves. You go.
Oh, I don't know what they are.
Okay, number 1. You absolutely lose it when we are at a red light or in a drive-through, and people leave spaces in between the cars.
Pull up.
He does.
That drives me. I'm going to tell you what drives me nuts. Okay. People who they're first in line and they have like an invisible car in front of them, and I'm like, the light's never going to change. The thing is not recognizing you. The thing on the ground or the light or whatever. So we're just going to sit at this light for 10 minutes because you can't just pull. What are you waiting for?
It's just on a timer. None of that matters.
It drives me nuts. And I'm like, why do you have such a, are you waiting? Are you in a movie and you're waiting for the cartel to pull up and start shooting and you need to get out? You need to pull away? Is that why you do this? You don't want to get up too close to another car? Literally, there's like 12 feet. Like, I'll pull up and I'll look and there's nobody next to me because that person is all the way back. And then the light changes. They immediately try to take off. And I'm like, well, no, this is on you.
Yeah. The other way you do that is the same thing as when we sit in a drive-through. So there's somebody at the front window getting their food, somebody behind them. Then there's a space because the person behind them is not paying attention. And then maybe there's us 1 or 2 cars back.
Trying to pay for my food.
And the thing is, we're nowhere near a window. It's not our turn to be at the front. It's not the third guy in line who's left the spaces turn. It's not like he's holding all of us up. And he sits in the car. Pull up. What is he doing? Why can't I sit? It doesn't matter. It's not as if he would be at the window getting his food and he's holding us up.
If he does it once, he's going to keep doing it every move. He's too busy on his phone or talking to somebody or doing something else. Move up. I want to get my food hot and ready. Say,
it's not time to get your food. And we are never at Little Caesars getting hot and ready. Anyway, you lose your mind about that in the cars. Just
pull up. And if you're, I'm not saying bumper to bumper, but just there's a couple of feet there, not 12 feet.
All right, going to baseball games, hockey games, football games,
any sporting
any
event.
types of games. Well,
you don't leave early.
You don't leave early. If you're going to a game, you better sit there that whole game with him, because if you try to leave early, first of all, he'll never invite you to a game again.
No. And
second of all, he's going to talk crap about you when you leave and be like, why'd you even bother to come if you're not even going to stay for the whole game?
That drives me nuts. And
yes,
that's a family thing. That goes all the way back to like my parents. You know, I would go to a game with my dad. You're not leaving. You know, you're also not getting up out of your seat. When we had season tickets to the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, it was like, what was it, 4th inning? You were like, all right, I'm going to go get some food. I'm like, all right, this is what I want. Thanks.
I would say you went to every game for we had season tickets for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I would say you probably got out of your seat like 3 or 4 times
because I had
for the hundreds of games to go to the bathroom.
Because I could not hold it for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm not getting out of my seat. I'm watching the game. You're also with me at a game, and you just start talking about some non-baseball crap. I'm just like, shut up. Talk to me between innings.
It was funny because you would be mad at people that you don't know sitting rows over or sections over, and you're like, where did they go? And I'm like, I don't know. I think they left. They got all their stuff. They left. The game's not even over yet.
Like the 6th inning, the 7th inning, and they're leaving.
I'm like, why do you care? You don't know these people, but you care.
Why did you pay for a baseball ticket? And you go, this is why it drives me nuts. This is why watching baseball on TV, I don't like watching a Dodgers game. And if you're a Dodgers fan, that's on you, because they're all leaving. It's a 6th or 7th inning. Oh, we got to beat LA traffic. What'd you come to the game for? Watch it from home.
You all worked up on that one?
Whew. I might need a break before you hit me with the third one. I might have a heart attack.
All right, the third one's going to be a little more controversial in this day and age.
Oh, here we go.
You are not a dog person.
No.
And so now in this day and age that we live in, people take their dogs everywhere with them.
Yes.
And while I don't understand why they have to be in the restaurant or the grocery store, because that's people's food, That absolutely, you lose your mind. Why people have to bring their dogs everywhere with them?
Just leave the dog at home. I mean, it's simple. I don't want to be in a restaurant and somebody has a dog. You know, when we went to the baseball games, I would always be like, oh, it's dog, whatever, bark in the park. I don't want to go because I don't want 1,000 dogs. I have a phobia of dogs. Okay. And it doesn't matter if it's a big dog or if it's a little dog. I don't like being around dogs. I freeze up.
Except for Alice.
And that took me a while to get used to Alice. And I realized, okay, Alice is not going to attack me or bite me. Alice, the dog just ignores me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That's what I want.
She doesn't have a phobia. She just doesn't care.
She doesn't care. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I want. And I had dog as a kid. I had a dog. So I don't like dogs. I also don't like people when they just have a dog and they're like, well, the dog's just going to run around and bark at you and stuff. And then that's too bad. No, you know, that's the dog's house. Fine. I'm not coming to your house. You know, when we have events and stuff and I'm like, do they have a dog yet? Well, then I'm not going.
That is true.
But when you bring a dog, like, remember where were we flying back from Portland or something? And the lady next to me had a dog.
Yep.
I'm like, you got a stupid lap dog staring at me.
Well, and typically though, in that case, the dog would be in a carrier, but this lady's dog was in a carrier. Literally, was just sitting on her lap for all those hours. And again, for someone like you who doesn't like dogs and gets very nervous around dogs, while the person is all, oh, this is my emotional support or whatever animal, it has the opposite effect of you. It's now supposedly making them less anxious, and it's making you extremely anxious.
I'm freaked out the whole time. And, you know, it's that, oh, would you mind? Well, what am I going to say?
Yeah, I do mind. Get off the plane.
Yeah, yeah.
you can fly some.
This plane is not moving until that dog is gone.
But every time, if we go anywhere, and why is a dog here? Why do they bring their dog? Why can't they leave their dog at home? Yeah. That's a.
There's no reason to have your dog in the supermarket. There's no reason to have your dog in a restaurant. When I worked as a merchandiser, and we worked in Home Depots, and they had gotten in candy, and we had to set up all the candy impulse items at all the registers, and then Home Depot said, well, now you can't have pets in the store. And I was like, that's awesome, because there was one store where people had, like, every other person had a pet. They had to walk around with a dog. And half the time they weren't even on a leash. So when they did that, I was like, oh, that's the greatest thing ever. And then everybody's like, well, I'm just going to just put this stupid thing on it, and it's going to say it's an emotionally support dog or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's that thing of, if you have a place, obviously you're not going to go to a dog park. You know, you're not doing things that are for animals, then totally great. Bring your animal, to avoid that.
I'm not going to a dog shelter.
Right. But I'm just saying, but trying to just go out to eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or again, to the grocery store or
when we hang out with people that have a dog and they're just letting the dog just roam around and stuff. And I'm just nervous.
The roaming around is and it's not typical. A lot of times we have somebody with a dog there. The dog is laying in their bed the whole time. It's when you go to somebody's house, and I like dogs, but when you go to somebody's house and they and I tell them he's nervous around dogs. I always say that. Right. Typically, if somebody has a dog, we won't go.
Right.
But if you're like, they're like, oh, well, we'll put them up, and you're like, okay. And then they don't put them up, and then they think it's funny that they're like, oh, he really wants to like you, and he's jumping all over you, and you like and I say all this to say, it sounds like a complaint. The reason I say it as a pet peeve, because in the car on the way home, oh my, he goes off talking about it and saying stuff and all the dogs, and then
I can see if nobody said anything, but when I literally say I'm uncomfortable with the dogs. And then the dog's roaming, or you put the dog away, and then we've been there a few hours, and then you bring the dog back out, and then the dog starts barking at me or whatever. That it bothers me, it pisses me off, but it also, I'm freaked out by it.
Yeah,
I'm very uncomfortable around dogs. We're watching a dog right now. The dog keeps staring at me. I haven't complained. But I'm thinking, please stop staring at us. But why are you just looking at me like that?
So anyway, that's the different pet peeve. All your other ones are silly pet peeves that you get annoyed about stuff that have nothing to do with you. This one is a pet peeve that I get because it does affect you a little bit more.
The problem now,
people living in a tiny house, being a pet peeve, I don't get, because you don't know anybody that lives in a tiny house, but for some reason it infuriates you. Like the guy in the drive-through that left 4 feet of space that makes you lose your mind. Those are silly.
So here's the problem now. If we do a third of these, I probably don't have any other pet peeves to even talk about.
No, because you're so reasonable about everything.
Right.
You're not easily bothered.
No. So if you have any questions that you would like to throw to Shelly to ask me, then feel free to leave a comment. And I'm sure we would do another 1 or 7 of these again in the future. Thank you for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for watching at least 33 seconds of each ad. It's not that big of a deal. You're not ruining your life. You're making us money. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the support, and I appreciate you. What I'm going to really appreciate you is move up in the drive-through. Just
take off that stupid
move
hat.
up and take off that dumb fedora, pissing me off. All right, until next time.